Look at this shot. Fluid tracking, moody lighting, absolute cinematic quality. This is the new baseline for professional AI video. But we need to be honest about the marketing. The promise that a single text prompt can generate a flawless, coherent movie is an illusion. Professional production requires character consistency, precise camera control, and a realistic way to manage your budget. If you force a single AI model to handle an entire narrative arc, you will eventually hit identity drift between scenes and audio that simply doesn't match the environment. The professional alternative is mastering multimodal inputs. That means combining specific images, audio tracks, and reference videos to guide the AI. This approach has a steeper learning curve, but it massively reduces the time you spend fixing broken footage in post-production. This creates a showdown between the two giants of 2026, Seedance 2.0 and Kling 3.0. It is a battle between multimodal control and raw kinetic speed. Professional success comes from knowing exactly which model to assign to a specific shot. In the current AI landscape, every decision is a trade-off between control and speed. Seedance 2.0 is built for control. Its reference system takes up to 12 files to dictate motion, appearance, and sound. Upload a reference video and it replicates the exact camera choreography. Add images, and character identity remains locked across generations. The trade-off is time. Generation wait times can exceed an hour. Kling 3.0 focuses on speed. It uses conversational text prompts and a visual motion brush to define movement paths directly on the screen. This yields high-speed iteration and incredibly realistic physics. When a ball hits a backboard in Kling, the momentum and deformation look real. It also has the technical edge in resolution, generating native 4K at 60 frames per second. But Kling trades away strict continuity. You will face minor identity drift, which often forces you to regenerate the same shot multiple times. You're choosing between a choreographer that requires a precise brief and an accelerator that trades consistency for energy. Beyond the creative choice, there is the logistical headache of the budget. Cheap AI generation is often a myth. Every model carries a failure tax, the cost of all those discarded, frozen, or glitched generations you paid for just to get one usable clip. Kling 3.0 looks like a bargain at 3 cents a second, but a high failure rate and freeze bugs consume credits without refund. Your real cost hits $15 per usable minute. Seedance is more expensive up front at 70 cents a clip. However, its precise reference system yields higher usability, bringing the real cost down to $8 per usable minute. Managing these costs is difficult because your credits are currently trapped in separate silos, forcing you to juggle different subscriptions to get the best price. Let's apply this logic to a 3-scene drama. To get professional results, we have to map the right model to each specific narrative need. Scene 1 is our intro. We need to establish the world and, most importantly, lock in our hero's appearance. We route this to Seedance 2.0. We feed it a character reference image and a mood board. This gives us absolute cinematic continuity. The hero's identity is firmly established before the story ramps up. Scene 2 is a high-energy chase sequence. Now we switch to Kling 3.0. We use the hero's image from Scene 1 and use Kling's motion brush to drive the kinetic energy. The fast pacing and motion blur hide any minor identity drift, letting Kling's physics do the heavy lifting. Finally, Scene 3 is the emotional resolution. This requires dialogue that doesn't look or sound like AI. For the finish, we bring in Veo 3.1. While Seedance and Kling focus on the visuals, Veo is our specialist for broadcast-grade audio. By feeding Veo a voice track and a static frame, we get professional 48 kHz audio and industry-leading lip sync. A professional narrative is only possible when you dissect the script and exploit these distinct superpowers. Your final choice depends entirely on your production profile. High-volume social marketers should default to Kling 3.0. Speed and energy are more valuable to you than a perfect failure tax. Narrative filmmakers should default to Seedance 2.0. Reference-based control is the only way to guarantee your characters stay consistent across shots. But the fragmentation we discussed earlier is a real problem. Managing 4 separate subscriptions and credit systems is an operational nightmare. This is why the industry is turning to routing platforms like Genra and Agent Opus. They provide a single workspace to access all these models without the administrative friction. The future of AI filmmaking belongs to the frictionless workflow, where you pay for the exact capability you need exactly when you need it.